Action.
Hey guys, it's Amanda here, your cutie of Carnage, here on another episode on Channel Sundown.
And JESS KORESH over here, aka the Dynamic Lover. What's up, kids?
Today's episode, we are doing our top 10 most scariest, creepiest, uneasiest moments in kid films. Yes, children movies that scared us and still give us uneasy feelings. Everybody has some. Okay, no matter how old you are, there's always going to be that film that's targeted to young ones that make us feel unsure and scared. But we don't admit it because we're grown-ups, but we still have those movies.
They make us question reality.
Yeah.
That's where you were going with it, right?
Yeah, that's where I was going with it, Jesse, exactly. So, our countdown may have some films in common. Films that people have in common that we think are scary, that are targeted toward children. I mean, we all have those movies that we loved when we were kids that, you know, have those moments where we're just like, oh, that monster was scary. But there are some kid films that I'm just like, I can't watch. Even now.
What a wuss.
I know, right? I'm just a wuss. But we might have a lot in common. I'm not sure.
We have nothing in common. Next.
You guys might have your own list at home, but this is our list. And if you guys agree with any of our picks, you know, let us know. If you guys think we left any of them out, let us know. We're going to go ahead and start with our number 10. And I'm going to let Jesse go first.
Alright, my number 10 is from a 1982 film that's not necessarily that scary, but it is the first film I remember seeing in the theater that had a scene that scared me. It was literally my first jump scare, and I think I've talked about it on here before, but it was the movie E.T. When Elliot and E.T. first encounter one another, when Elliot is taking out the trash and they both see each other and scream. I jumped out of my tiny little chair when I saw that in the theater, and for the longest time I was scared to take the trash out. And when I took the trash out, I would run outside as fast as I can, put the trash in, and run back in. So yeah, E.T. was the first film that really scared me. But it was just that one scene where they see each other and they just scream. And I mean, I still to this day, I was a little kid, but I remember jumping out of my seat. That was my first jump scare. It doesn't, and just for the record, that scene doesn't scare me anymore. But as a little kid, it really scared me.
I could see that because honestly, E.T., that part where Drew Barrymore screams, that part used to get me. Like, I used to have a hard time watching that. I'd be
really?
like, both scream,
and
they both go, ah! I like,
yeah.
I had a hard time with that because I'm just
E.T.
like,
horrifying film.
Horrifying!
Horrifying. Keep it away from your children.
Extraterrestrial, extra...
Terrifying.
Terrifying, there you go. I'm like, what's a T word for scared? Like, you got it. My number 10. So I have to write a lot of stuff down to remember. So forgive me for reading off my notes, but my number 10 is actually a film that came out in 1989, which was a sequel to my favorite movie when I was a little kid. And that is, this is really going to be embarrassing, Look Who's Talking To.
What?
Yes. There is a scene with a toilet. It talks and it wants to eat. It wants to eat their pee-pee. That scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. That scared the hell out of me. Until now, of course, I can watch it and I don't get scared, but I still, like, sometimes I see that scene when the toilet talks and I'm like,
wait.
It wants to eat their pee-pee.
It was
talking,
pee-pee?
Yeah.
So is it like his imagination?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Yeah, but still, the toilet has teeth, and it has
is
a
it like
cushion on the
feed me,
toilet.
Seymour?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
But it has a little cushion on top of the toilet, and it talks, and it has eyes, and it has teeth, and it's like, and it's really scary.
I'm sure that's a spot-on impression, by the way. My number 9 is also from a movie I saw when I was really young, and it was 1982. It was The Secret of NIMH. And the particular scene is when I think it Miss Bigsby, was that their mouse's name? But when she goes and meets the great owl for the first time. Do you remember how scary the great owl was? To a little kid, he was scary at least. He was pretty terrifying to me. So that scene to me would be when she goes and meets the great owl.
That is a good one.
Good, still a good movie. That movie still holds up.
It is an amazing movie.
You got a brave little mouse to go meet the great owl.
She was. But yeah, that's a good one. That's really a good one.
Thank you. I wrote and directed that movie on a minute myself.
Here it goes. My number 9.
Hey, I want to say something real quick. If you think that Amanda should get those glasses that go around your neck and then they pull apart and the magnets put them together, like this video because I told her she should get some of those.
Yeah, where they come apart and I just put
them
on.
Oh my god, those would be so awesome. Please.
Or should I just get one?
A monocle?
Yeah, I just get a monocle.
No.
This is an interesting one. I mentioned this before, but this is in a kid category, so I felt like I needed to bring this film up yet again because this film is really, really on a lot of people's list. 1985, Return to Oz.
Ooh.
The Wheelers. Everyone always mentions the part with the heads, the head haul, but no, the Wheelers freaked me out when I was a kid. I watched Return to Oz because my sister was a lot old. My sister's 10 years older than me. My sister's a lot older than me. So when I was 8, she was 18. When I was 7, she was 17. So she...
Wait, so when you were 9, was she 19?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
She was into, like, all the cooler stuff. And that's how I got into, like, you know, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show the first time when I was, like, 6, 7 years old. Of course, I didn't understand it, but I thought it was fun because I wore a costume dancing. Okay, that being said, I remember I watched Return to Oz because my sister was like, oh, it's the sequel to Wizard of Oz. And I was like, I like Wizard of Oz. And then the beginning scene, she's sitting there combing a pumpkin. And I'm like, why is she combing a pumpkin? She goes, you have to comb a pumpkin or else their hair will get tangly. So I used to always try to comb pumpkins.
So that movie really screwed you up, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, so The Wheelers is my number 9. I would like to know what Jesse's number 8, Mr. Koresh.
Thank you. My number 8 is from the 1996 film Matilda. Have you seen Matilda?
Yes,
Okay,
and I know what part you're going to say.
What was it called? It was the closet. I think I wrote it. The Chokey. The Chokey, when they put him in the Chokey. I think there were 2 different girls. I remember they put another girl and then they put Matilda in the Chokey. But it was basically like a, what's the word? What's the thing called? The iron, what's the thing called when they close people up in it's like a old-timey thing. The Iron Maiden. Was that the Iron Maiden? Right? Yeah. It was basically like an Iron Maiden because it had pieces of glass and like sharp things in there, and then the kids had to be real still. But I believe that it was there was a medieval torture device called the Iron Maiden. The Chokey reminded me of, which was really weird because that movie, it wasn't really that scary or whatever. But I was I was older when Matilda came out, but I remember that's kind of fucked up, yeah. So anyway. All right, Amanda, what's your number 8?
My number 8 is actually kind of embarrassing too because everybody knows everybody I know knows that I have a phobia. When I was very, very young, I saw a horror film that was my brother's favorite film, it was my sister's favorite film, it was my parents' favorite film. So of course everybody loved it and I was a young child and was traumatized. And to this day I can't really tolerate films that have anything to do with this topic.
I know where this is going.
Yes. So my scariest moment in a children's film is going to be 1989's The Little Mermaid. And yes, the beginning scene with the shark. Yes. Ariel versus the shark. I still have an issue watching it. I still get... of course I don't get scared anymore, but when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I had an issue with this part. I did.
Yeah.
That was it. It's just, and then Ariel's swimming, and they're making, and what I'm not impressed with is they're making a live action Little Mermaid, and I'm not interested. Not interested. really not. I just think they have other things that they can do with their time other than remaking Little Mermaid, or just cut that scene out. You know,
I could make another Jaws movie.
Now we are down to number 7. Jesse,
Yes.
what is your number 7?
My number 7 comes from one of my favorite all-time movies, 1985's Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Do you know what scene I'm gonna say? Is it on yours? Large Marge. When Large Marge does the that was a good jump scare there.
It was.
Yeah. You know, she does her face changes. She
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Kind of like Tim Burton also did that in Beetlejuice too. That same thing. They do that with Large Marge, and then later on, don't you find out what Large Marge was a ghost?
Was a ghost. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So even scarier. But oh man.
Yeah. 1985.
Yeah. I love Pee Wee Herman. I still got a Pee Wee Herman doll. I love Pee Wee's Big Adventure. I love Pee Wee's Playhouse. I've said too much already.
I love that scene. And it looked something like this. Yes, that scene. You can't. That scene. Ah, yes, yes. That's a great one. And on that point, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and my number 7 was Large Marge.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So no, you guys. So sorry. No. I know. I'm gonna take this up about Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah, my next one was Large Marge. So no, but that's good because that's how we're gonna have things, together in common. So it's just funny how like ours were the same.
There was a random number. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. So
lucky number 7, Pee-wee.
Right.
I still, to this day, I still like to mix my ice cream up with my cake because he did that in an episode of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was God knows how long ago. But I still eat my cake and ice cream because he did it. I was like, man, that was a good idea. And then,
I don't mix my cake and my ice cream together because that's weird. Instead, I put
something. You're gonna say something way weirder. Go ahead. You do what?
I put chicken nuggets in my ice cream. You see me do it.
Yeah, I did see you do that, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's the most disturbing thing on this entire countdown.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we both picked Large Marge as our number 7. Number 7, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, 1985. Jesse.
Yes.
I would like to know your number 6. We're on number 6, correct?
Yes, number 6.
All right.
My number 6 is from, I think it's the most recent movie. Well, no, there's one newer than this, but I say recent, but it's 10 years old. It's from 2009's Coraline, which Neil Gaiman wrote the story for. And that's a pretty creepy story altogether. But the creepiest thing was the other mom? Mm-hmm. And when she kind of finally revealed herself, and she was creepy anyway with the button eyes. But then when she revealed herself, and she was like turned into like the spider creature, and she had the spider web, and then she wanted to take Coraline's eyes out, like replace her eyes, and she had the thread and all that. I was like, whoa, hold on a minute. So yeah, that's my number 6.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I like Coraline. But my number 6 is going to be interesting. And this is actually, we're going back to Disney. And this one isn't a lot of people's list too, but this is actually something that really affected me when I was a kid. Like, you ask my family, the reason I thought of this is because my daughter loves this movie. My daughter loves this movie, and she always wants to watch it at my parents' house, and she has a toy. And she always wants to play it. And I can't watch it because it takes me back to some remember, and that is 1940s Pinocchio.
Oh, I know what you're going to say, yeah.
The scene where all the kids at the theme park turn into donkeys. And what freaked me out is the scene where the boy's turning and he's screaming Mommy, Mommy, and he's crying. I can't deal with that part. I can't watch that part. That part just makes me cry. Like, breaks my heart because he's crying for his mother and stuff. And it messed me up when I was a kid. I was like, I don't want to turn into a donkey. And I just started crying. Like,
be good, and you won't.
I know, right?
Those are horrible children. They deserved it.
Yeah,
I think weren't they a street gang or something? Yeah. See, gang. That's what happens if you join a gang. You turn into an ass.
Like, there's certain Disney films that just messed with me. Pinocchio, that scene, I can't.
Especially the older Disney films.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one of my, I've got some alternates on here that were like old Disney films because they did have some pretty scary stuff.
Oh,
But but also back then, I don't think that older cartoons weren't as geared toward children. Because they would show.
Sure.
So
when I lived in Germany, a lot of adaptations on TV shows and stuff like they would do cartoons when I was in school of Grimm fairy tales.
Yeah.
And I watched them, like I watched the original Little Mermaid in school, and I was like, this is nothing like the Disney film. They were really dark.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what
and they showed it in my school. They were like, oh, this is this, and this is, and Hansel and Gretel, they did not run away from the witch. The witch had,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. This Grimm and Little Mermaid is not a happy ending. Like, I'm sorry guys, spoiler alert, but it's not a happy ending, Little Mermaid. If you have seen the lore, the lore is closer to the Little Mermaid than the Little Mermaid. Like, really. Like, if you guys seen the lore, that's the Little Mermaid story, basically, except for, the stripper thing. The little boy's turning into donkeys, Pinocchio.
That's a very good one.
Yes,
very good choice.
Thank you.
No problem.
Now, I would like to know, are we on your number 5?
Number 5, yeah.
Yes, sir. JESS KORESH, number 5. Sorry.
What was that accent?
I don't know. It came out of nowhere.
Oh, wow. My number 5 is from an older movie, not as old as the one you just stated, but before my time, before I was born. But a movie I loved as a kid, and it's the original, the Willy Wonka, the 1971 Willy Wonka film. Is that on here? All of a sudden, takes up like a weird, horrifying, bad mushroom trip, psychedelic, and then he's singing like some pre-Marilyn Manson type
Oh yeah,
songs.
and the images in the back, they beheaded chicken.
Yeah, there's messed up stuff going on, but
Yeah.
it's the psychedelic boat ride from 1971.
And he ad-libbed most of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilder did?
Yeah, Gene Wilder ad-libbed.
It was 1971.
I don't know why.
Amanda Fofanda, what is your number 5?
Okay. It came out in 1986, and this film is actually one of my favorite films, and it was my sister's favorite film. And a lot of these countdown, I'm going to mention my sister a lot because she had a lot of influence because, like I said, she was a teenager when I was a little kid, so she would always be watching films up late at night, and I would sneak in the hallway, and I would look down the hall, and I'm like, what's she watching? And that's how I kind of got into stuff. And that being said, there is this film that my sister was all about. This was the film she would constantly put on. 1986 Labyrinth. And the scariest part in this film is actually not what y'all think, is the beginning. The beginning scared me when I was a kid because my sister used to do this to me. Anytime I was bad, my sister would go downstairs and she would yell, "Goblin King! Goblin King!"
Oh,
and I would flip out and start crying. My sister is like, "Take this child away from me!" And I would flip out. So yeah, the beginning credits when the goblins are sitting and waiting for Jennifer Connelly to do the Goblin King praise to take the little baby, that freaked me out. And I still, when I hear that, when she does that phrase, I can't. And yeah, guys, my sister is a lot older than me, and she remembers what she fucking did.
She
remembered. Yeah, I still remember that, Lois. I remember that. Okay, you're older now. You should know better.
But was she young enough to think that it might actually work? Is that
no?
Oh, okay.
She was 17 years old, and I was 6.
So she was just doing it to mess with you.
Yes, she did it to mess with me, and I'm not bitter about it at all.
No, you don't hold on to things.
No, I don't hold on to things at all. I let things go. I don't remember any of that, Lois. Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Yeah, scariest moment is the beginning.
It's a scary movie, but that's a great movie.
Yeah, it's great. Everybody thought I was going to save the little walks when they rip their heads off.
Yeah.
And they try to rip.
Actually, when you start, I was curious. You giving it such a great introduction. I was like, which movie is she talking about? But then when you said Labyrinth, I was like, oh, there's so many scenes from that you could have chosen. But yeah, yeah, I get that.
My sister was on. Yeah, my sister was 10 years older than me. My sister was a hellion. She was like, she goes, I have a little sister who's a little kid, so I'm gonna mess with her.
Oh, I can imagine.
And I'm 31 now. She doesn't make anything hard on me at all anymore. Just saying.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay, now that I'm done talking, let's find out what Jesse's number 4 is. Yeah, are you excited? I think you're too excited.
My number 4 is the newest movie on my list, and I went and saw this movie with my son when he was small, and this is 2010.
And you were scared?
Yeah, no, I was scared of this. I'll explain it. It was 2010's Toy Story 3. All right, when what was his name? Was Laszlo? No, not Laszlo. Something like that. Did I put it down here? Oh. Lotso, the bear. When he like betrayed all the other things, and remember they were going down the incinerator.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Honest to God, it was Toy Story number 3. I thought it was going to be the final film, and I was like, oh my God, they're killing off all the toys. This is messed up. I seriously, honest to God, thought they were going to kill all of the toys in the incinerator.
Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, all of them.
Yes. I was like, holy crap, they're really going to, this is the final movie, and they're going to kill them off in the final movie. Like, I really thought that. So, I mean, so I thought it was scary.
Have you seen all these, like, fan theories where people compare Toy Story 3 to Walking Dead?
No.
It's crazy. I was on a list, top 10 Disney films that are scary, and that was on my list.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's terrifying, because that big fire.
Yeah.
And they're all sitting there, they hold hands.
It's like they're in hell or something. I mean, it's like, really, they were all holding hands like they were all about to die. And I seriously, in my head, I was thinking, they're about to kill these toys off. This is the final movie.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3 is going to be the final one, and they're going to end it by killing all of them. Like, that's what I thought. So, I mean, to me, that was... I mean, I love those guys. So it was scary, even though I was a grown man.
That's really touching,
yeah,
Jesse. It's really...
I have an emotional one. I have a soft side, Amanda. Don't choke.
On the next episode of Channel Sundown.
Jesse's softer side. Alright, so that was my number 4. What is your number 4?
You sound so enthusiastic. Okay, guys, my number 4. I'm sorry with my glasses, but my number 4 is actually going to be... I saw this film when I was younger, and I didn't remember this scene until I saw it again when I first moved to Texarkana. I watched it again because my friend had it on VHS, and I watched it, and as soon as I saw the 2 kids running, I went, oh, I remember this scene! This scene messed me up when I was a kid! And that is 1983, excuse me guys, I had to look at the year. 1983, Something Wicked This Way Comes. A scene where the 2 boys run out after seeing the evil, because if nobody's ever seen it, it's about an evil carnival. It was an older film.
You're not going to believe this. I've never seen it.
You never seen
I've never seen it.
Oh my goodness, Evil Carnival. But anyways, this is back in the day when Disney got away with
murder.
Yeah, basically murder, because there was a scene where the 2 boys run out and they decapitate a child.
Jesus.
and not only do they decapitate a child, but you see the head roll and it falls in a basket and the guts are hanging out of the kid.
What?
And the kids wear the glasses. Yeah. It was in his mind, and it was the boy. The boy saw himself getting decapitated.
Wow. And
that scene, when I first moved to Texarkana, I became friends with, you guys seen on my channel before, I became friends with this guy, and we were talking about films, kid films that scared us, because we were just talking about stupid stuff, and he goes, have you ever seen Something This Way Comes? And I said, yes. And he goes, oh my God, and we like, that scene just, it's a real fast scene. It doesn't last that long, but the shovel comes down and it cuts the kid's head off. The kid rolls. It's in the basket. Guts, kid, head, and they run. And
it's a kids movie.
It's a kids film. Yep, kids film. Something Wicked This Way Comes.
You said that came out in '83, and people are worried about what their kids are watching now.
I know, and people like me saw that shit, and now I have a horror channel. So.
Oh wow! Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, that is my list. That not my list. That was my pick. sorry, we're not done the list yet. We still have a few more to go. So, Jesse, it is your turn. I want to know your next pick.
All right, so my number 3 is this was also a book that was turned into a film, and I've never read the book, but I have seen the film. But I didn't see it. It came out when I would have been like 0 to 1 years old when this movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw it later on as an older person when I was watching some messed up cartoons. And I don't really know.
Some messed up cartoons.
I don't know who this was geared toward, but it's 1978's Watership Down.
Oh God!
And there are two.
That movie.
I have 2 different scenes in there because I picked 2 scenes from Watership Down.
The lake scene.
the 2 scenes I picked are the one scene where the dog is like the bunny massacre where the dog goes in, he's like grabbing bunnies and they rip off the bunnies. The dog's like tearing the bunnies apart, blood's flying all over the place. There's like bones and like eyeball. I mean, it's bad. And then the other one is when the other rabbit was talking about getting buried alive with all the other rabbits. It's such a messed up movie. I don't know. I mean, at the time, I don't know who that movie was like geared to at the time. I don't know if it was supposed to be more of an adult type cartoon, kind of like.
That is what everyone's pick for number 1.
Oh,
and that's the reason why I didn't put it, is because I went to look up the year of the film because I had it on my list, and I went to look up the year. When I did, like on the links, it was like scariest children's film of all time, and like, it was on everybody's countdown. And then I was like, okay, well, this is on everybody's countdown, so I'm gonna leave it off. But
yeah, there's some messed up stuff. I don't know if it was supposed to be more geared toward adults. And like I said, I've never read the book either, so I don't know if the book was more geared. There's a remake on. I think Netflix just did a remake too. So,
really?
Yeah, there's a new that just came out recently, but there's a remake on Netflix. So, but you have to keep this in mind. Back in the day, people didn't. There wasn't social media and there wasn't YouTube, so. People are going to the, to rent a movie or whatever, and they're seeing a box with a bunch of cute little bunnies on it called Watership Down. So who do you think's going to rent that?
And it seems Disney.
Yeah. I mean, who do you think's going to rent that movie? Like, it's not going to be like a grown man being like, oh, this looks good,
Yeah.
It's going to be like, oh, look, Daddy, a movie with bunnies in it, like, I want that, so, whatever.
It was like Death and Carnage. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a good pick, Jesse.
Thanks.
Really
I do what I can, Amanda. What's your inferior pick for number 3?
Oh gosh, here it goes. So this one is a movie that it's my number 3, and with good reason, because my brother, sorry to get my family mad.
Traumatic family story.
No, my family can protest to this. I was big scared of this film. Brother was a huge fan of a certain person, and I've seen every movie he ever did. I had a hard time dealing with this film, and that is 1991. I'm so embarrassed to say.
That's good.
Ernest Scared Stupid. I could not watch Ernest Scared Stupid. I cannot watch the Trolls and Ernest Scared Stupid. I could not handle it. The beginning, the part where he comes up, and then the girl that sees, and then when they turn, and then when they get the milk and they change, and I could not watch Ernest Scared Stupid. I was terrified, and I still can't. I can't see the Trolls. The Trolls give me. I can't. That movie scares me. Still now, I have a hard time watching it. That being said, I've seen every Ernest film because my brother was an Ernest fanatic. I've seen every Ernest Rides Again. I've seen every Ernest film.
Ernest Goes to Jail is what kept me on the straight and narrow. Ernest has really affected both of our lives.
I know, right?
Jim Varney.
Yeah. Contrary to me being a horror fan, guys, and having my horror channel, I was scared of everything. I was scared of everything. Like, everything was scary to me. We went and saw Jurassic Park in the drive-thru. My mom ended up having to take the headphones out of my ears. We had to climb to the back of the car. My mom had to hold me to go to sleep because I could not handle that film. And, I was a scaredy cat. I was scared of everything. I was scared of Ernest Scared Stupid. It took me a long time before I saw Once Bitten because I heard it was about vampires, and I was scared to death.
Wow.
Yeah. The first scene is at the end when he kisses, because Miak, good old
Bless
Miak. No, remember Miak?
Yeah.
He finds out, they find out to kill the trolls you have to get milk. But Ernest thinks it was Miak. So he got a whole old bottle of classic Miak. But it was milk. So he thought it was Miak.
I've learned a lot.
Do you guys remember this? I haven't seen, guys, mind you, I haven't seen Ernest Scared Stupid in years.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since I was a kid.
Yeah, so
I
I
don't
probably
remember
remembered all this wrong.
No,
So
I'm sure
forgive
you're
me.
not. I've learned a lot about you this episode. More than I ever wanted to know.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you trying to tell me
look
about Miak?
I have nothing to say about Miak. Nothing at all.
Jesse, Mr. Jess Koresh, what is your number 2? Eins, zwei.
Number 2, and I think you might agree with me on this movie because I think we've talked about how underrated this movie is. But it was 1985's Black Cauldron.
Oh wow!
When they first introduced the Horned King, is that his name? The Horned King. That dude is for that, and that was a pretty straight up like kid, the animation. But even the way they drew him was like different. Like he was animated differently.
Well,
like,
that was started a lot of controversy because people were upset about that film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was so dark. They said it wasn't, and like some of the stuff, like, and I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry, but a lot of the merchandise is really high because a lot of stuff was on recall.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's really high because when I worked in collectibles, they had a Black Cauldron, a statue of the scary dude, that, and it had the castle and it had the trail around it, and it was really nice, and it was like $100-something. I was like, why is the other one's like 30, 40? This one like 100. They're like, that's really rare, and I was like,
that I mean that does make sense because I don't know if they've ever re-released everything. It's hard to find. Like I kind of look for it on VHS when I go places,
But Black Cauldron, Jesse, that is a good one. I'm really happy that you said that because that is a very forgotten film, and I even forgot about it, and I don't forget much.
Yeah. Not when it comes to movies. Not when it comes to movies, at least.
Yeah, not when it comes to movies, but everything else I forget. Hence, my list is rated. I forget past tenses.
You forget how to speak.
Yeah.
Amanda, what's your number 2?
My number 2. Okay. This was actually started as an honorable mention. 1990. The Witches. The Witches.
Yeah.
Sorry, fucked me up. It did. That movie messed with me. The kids turned into mice.
Yeah.
When that kid turned into a mouse, and Angelica Houston decided that she wanted to show her real face.
That's exactly the same. It's like they're having like the witches convention or something.
Yeah, the witches.
I almost put that on my list. And there's a lot going on, and they all reveal like their true selves. Oh, yeah.
Yes. And then the beginning, when you first kind of meet the witches and they're talking and stuff, and man, that scene when that kid morphs into, and then the kid gets his shit cut off. He gets his tail cut.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: the kid gets his tail cut off, and it just messed with me so much. Like it just was, witches got me hard. And you have to understand, guys, when I was a kid, I couldn't really watch horror films. And that film messed with me because I knew Angelica Houston from Addams Family. So I went from Addams Family, was like the first one, to Witches. My world was twisted. I didn't know what was going on. But anyways, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, I had that movie on my first draft, but I think deep inside I knew that you were going to put it, because I think I may have heard you talk about it before.
Yeah.
So I think I knew you were going to put it on your list, so I took it off. But yeah, I did originally have that one on mine.
Yeah, because my mom talks about it all the time. She goes, remember that movie used to be so scary? Like, yeah, I did, Mom. Thanks for that.
Well, we're very clear.
Yes. Okay, guys. Here it is. We're down to our number 1.
We can have lots of fun.
Jesse, I want to know what your number 1 is.
Alright, so I put a lot of thought into it actually, because I was trying to think of the movie that's most geared towards children that to me has the scariest moment. Okay? And so with that in mind, I picked 1989's All Dogs Go to Heaven. For the most part, it's a very delightful film, but there is one particular scene where the main protagonist dog named Charlie has a dream where he goes to hell.
Yes.
And man, it's messed up. If it kind of takes you aback if you're watching the movie, because you're just like, whoa, this will be like, it'll make kids find Jesus, because they'll be like, I don't want to go to hell,
I don't want to go to hell.
Yeah, like what the 1989's All Dogs Go to Heaven, and it's the scene in particular where Charlie is dreaming. He has a nightmare. It's a nightmare that he instead of going to heaven, that he goes to hell. Well, you know what?
What, Jesse?
We're wrapping it up, so I want to know what your number one is.
Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Here it is. My number one is actually, if you guys seen my countdowns before, this has been my number one many times. But my number one is the king of all scary moments, and that is 1968 Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. The child catcher.
The child catcher.
Oh my god.
What a creep.
I don't know, the child catcher, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I don't care who you are. That was the creepiest shit ever.
Yeah.
That guy, my children come out, I have candy.
Yeah. Oh, man.
That shit freaked me out when I was a kid.
Did not go with that guy, yeah.
Yeah, that freaked me out when I was a kid. Like really. Like, I actually was scared when I was a kid. I was like, I don't like this scene. I don't like this scene. Like, I was not cool with it.
Me no likey.
Yeah, and he hit the side. The gates came, like, the Shaggy see was in a cage and there was no children, and just, man, like, children come out. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, the child catcher. I don't care who you are. That's my number one, and will always be till the day I die. I know I've mentioned that film. It was my number one countdown on like 4 countdowns I did. It was my number one 4 times. And guess what? This is the 4th, and I don't care because that film, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, still number one. No other film will ever freak me out as much as that film did. So yeah, number one, child catcher, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Give him his own film. It's about its time.
Yeah, right? No. And another one I mentioned is Puffin' Stuff. HR Puffin' Stuff. That movie freaked me out too. HR Puffin' Stuff. Yeah, because I had, what's her name, Mamas and the Papas. When I was smaller and 2 people were taller, I realized I was different. Yeah, that song. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I watched that movie a lot. Anyways, I probably don't remember the lyrics this much. But yeah, anyways, that is my number one. Okay, guys. Well, that concludes our countdown today. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you guys. We have more stuff coming out this week. Guys, that concludes our countdown today. I am curious what you guys think. Are there any films we forgot? Any films that we need to check out? I want to hear in your comments below. And you guys, remember, be nice to each other. Life is too short. And always be understanding. Okay, guys? Don't want to repeat myself, but just be nice. Just because you don't agree with somebody, just push their opinions to the side and just go on with yourself, okay? Because there's no time to waste. None whatsoever. Anyways, guys, like and subscribe. And don't forget to comment, because I seek approval. Proven fact. You can ask Jesse here. I seek approval. Thanks for watching again, and until next time, bye! You got kisses for everyone.
Drink your devil juice.